Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. As always, I'm your favorite investment personality, Jimmy L. I'm waiting on Uttam to come on, and we're going to definitely invite him so we can get this thing started. Of course, this is just simply inspired by Jimmy L teaming up or partnering with Straight from the Heart Uttam. Hey, Jana, how are you, darling? Live at 5. Where in the world? How do you? Oh my gosh. Where in the world? Bring Uttam on camera. Okay, there it is. I mean, I'm like, this is like, what? I don't know, 4th or 5th week, and I still can't get it right. Uttam, hi!
Blessings and greetings, love and light. Let's get this show on the road.
Yes.
Let me get comfy. Today, I'm going to be comfortable today.
Do you really have to be comfortable?
Yes.
And you got me all suited up. And look.
Excuse me, we match each other.
Oh, okay.
Synchronicity.
I was running a little bit late, so I was like, let me pull over. Let me go ahead and get this thing started.
Better late than never.
Okay. Do not compete with yourself. Come on, Uttam. Like, that is probably one of the best that I've heard thus far. Oh, my goodness. Do not compete with yourself. Like, I love that. It actually had me, when you mentioned it earlier, it had me thinking about, because, I started this whole thing, and different people was coming on to me about doing interviews. And my original plan was to do an interview once a week, and then that kind of changed to every 2 weeks because of the amount of people that I was getting. What eventually happened is I started to get all these different requests, and people wanted to come on, and their motives were not there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but these last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just been you and I. Like, I have not found out that there's no one that's out there that's worthy, but I really hadn't found anyone that had pure intentions. And so, like, I've been trying to find my way, and not necessarily about me, but I've been resisting the urge to compete with others, to try to just bring people on. Because I'm like, it is not about that. Like, shit, I'm going to be who I am, authentic, all day long, 100%. And if I can't vibe with you, I really probably don't want to or even need to even talk to you.
Exactly.
So when you brought that up, I was like, damn, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So what made you bring that? Go ahead.
The competing, I had a coaching session this morning with somebody. I was coaching somebody this morning, and which I find with a lot of people, including yourself, I think it's not competing with yourself, it's actually competing with others.
Yeah.
So what happens, for example, I think we had this conversation a month or so ago, that we tend to compare ourselves.
We did.
Yes.
We
compare ourselves.
We did.
But why the hell are we comparing? Because there's only one Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you can only do Jimmy like you can do. I can try to be Jimmy. I will never be Jimmy.
Don't you try. You better not.
Yeah, I can be Jimmy if I want to. I can be Jimmy too.
Oh my God.
One thing, I'm going to go off subject though. I've always been in touch with my feminine side, always in my life. You'll find me in a room full of girls.
Okay.
And I'm all myself. But put me in a room with the men, and I'm like, dude, that's not me.
That is so crazy.
It's not me. And last night I was sitting with my wife, and I was saying, babe, since chatting to Jimmy and stuff, my femininity is coming out even more.
Don't blame that on me.
But I'm not blaming it on you. It's actually a praise to you because you're bringing it out even more. But then my wife said to me, this is why we're perfect, because I bring the masculine in our relationship. She's the tom. She grew up as the tomboy. I remember when we first got together, we started living together. and there was like, I think there was a plug that needed fixing. Like, all the women that I've been with in my life will be like, dude, can you get this
Can
sorted for
you
me?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The next thing I'm
Yeah.
seeing, she's got the screwdriver out and she's doing this, she's doing...
That's my
And,
kind of girl. That is my
yeah,
kind of girl.
and I'm like, baby, whoa, you're
We say,
taking away...
marry me right
No,
now.
you're taking away my job. But
Oh
then I
my God.
realized that's why me and her, we are so perfect. She's my soulmate. And being in a room full of guys, I feel like I have to be pretentious.
Really?
Yes, because they're all macho and
Yeah.
trying to, yeah?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm all in touch with my
Yeah.
femininity. So then
Yeah.
my wife turned it round on me. She says, do you think you're gay? And I said to her, this is one thing I'm going to tell you. No, I'm in touch with... She said, so when if you go to Tennessee and you and Jimmy, you and Jimmy are chilling, and then Jimmy tries it with you, what would you do? I said, I'll smack his face in.
Please do.
No,
Please. I need you
but
to do more than that.
yeah.
Okay.
But do you
Oh my
see,
gosh.
a lot
Yeah.
of men will get that confused
Yes.
with, oh, with my sexuality. But it's not your sexuality. It's the energy that you have within you, you know? And
Yeah.
you're more in touch with that. And it comes with my birth sign. Now, Taurians are really in touch with the feminine side.
That
They
I didn't
are,
know.
but when we need to come as the raging bull, we will. But don't expect me to be in a room where you're expecting me to be that raging bull, because I'm not
Gotcha.
comfortable. I'm not
With that.
comfortable because I'm being fake, because that's not me. I flow my own way. So we went off the conversation, but
But no,
so
like I love that because that is a version of competing necessarily with yourself and or
yeah.
even with others that are around you in a room. Like I mean that is still on in my mind. It's still along that lines. Like that's an issue. And in my mind I do believe that it is more it's more acceptable socially for a gay guy to just really be who he is all day
Mm-hmm.
long. And it is definitely it's frowned upon for a straight or a heterosexual man to be able to be in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah.
And which is why I know when we first started talking and you were like your biggest I don't want to say your fan base, but your biggest I guess collaborations or have been with women and women gravitate towards you. And I was like, I'm literally just the opposite. But I knew it, but I guess I haven't heard it put like this in a while, but it's for the exact same reasons that you just mentioned.
And this is bringing the
That
authenticity.
that's because when I'm around, I don't want you. It's not a sexual tension. You can be 100%, and like this is the guys that work with me. 95% of them are married, but I'm like, I don't want you. We can hang out, we can chill. I'm not gonna let you cheat on your wife at the end of the day. I will step in and snap off, but at the same time, it's a vulnerability level that we're both are sharing, and neither one of us are judging the other for it.
There you
And so
go.
that is it's an amazing thing.
Then the next bit of the conversation, after if Jimmy tried it with you, I said to my wife, but if I'm walking down Tennessee with Jimmy, I wouldn't feel any ways if I was to hold Jimmy's hand and walk down the street, because I love Jimmy. Jimmy's my brother. Do you
Exactly.
see what I mean? So,
Exactly.
and if
Exactly.
anybody is looking at me and you funnily, that's your bullshit to deal
That's
with,
your
because
business. Like
I know what I'm about. I know what you're about.
it's funny you said that, Utah. Like this guy, he's actually from Africa, a coworker of mine, so we become really good
Uh,
friends. I actually interviewed him. He because a rumor got out in the warehouse that we were messing around or whatever. Mind you, he's a married man. I'm a married man. And when I brought it to his attention, I was just like, "What? Like, where the hell did this even come from?" And he was like, "Jimmy, where have you been? Like, they've been saying that for the longest." I was like, "What?" I was like, wait a second. First off, like, do you believe this? And if so, we need to talk about this. And his response to me was, he was like, Jimmy, I don't give a damn. I know who I am. And at the end of the day, they can think whatever they want. And so for that reason, I have so much more respect for you as well as him. And again, I love being able to be who I am, and I love it even more that people are able to be who they naturally are around me. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing.
We bring out the best in each other.
I
And
like
this
that.
is what I love, you
I
know.
like that.
I
Yeah.
If people don't like it, there's a button that they can press. Get
It's right
off.
there. Like,
It's
it's right
right
there.
there. Simple. If they find me or you vulgar, it's
Yep.
right there.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we're going to that authenticity. So this
Yes.
thing happened with this coaching that I did this morning, and this particular person was like, but I feel that this person is moving that way and this person's moving that way and I'm not moving anywhere. So I said,
Mm.
so I like to work with metaphors. I like to work with analogies, as you know. So I said to this person, well, on the freeway, how many lanes do you have on the freeway? And say, for example, you've got 6 lanes. So you've got the fast lane and the slow lane. So you got the dude or the chick that's going in the fast lane, going from A to B. That dude or that chick will get there faster. But bear with me, some of the people don't even get there. They will overturn that vehicle
Mm-hmm.
in the long run because they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to do something that they're not capable of doing.
Exactly.
So hence in the slow lane now, we've got an HGV truck who's going so slow at a snail's pace. But when that truck arrives at that destination, is bringing nutrition, is bringing sustenance, it could bring a whole new house for somebody who's moving. And look how much that slow truck, but it's packed with content. It's packed with
Mm.
all that goodness, but it's getting there.
Knowledge. Yeah.
But that Ferrari on its own is bringing that motherfucking ego. Sorry for my language, but that's me. Yeah, it is. I'm faster than you,
Oh
but
man.
I've got no
I like
substance
that.
in me.
I
Yeah?
like that.
So that's why I want people to realize
I like
that when you're in your lane and focus on your lane
that.
because
Mm-hmm.
you've got your gift to give.
Yes.
And you can't be giving what Jimmy is giving. You can't be giving what Uttam's giving. You can't be
Yes.
giving what X, Y, and Z is giving. But what I will say, start the journey now. And one of your favorite men talks about that, which is Gary Vee. He
Yes.
always says it. Start now and look back in
Just
7 years. And look back
Mm-hmm.
in 7 years. But right
Yes.
now, you may not feel like you're the full package. You may not feel that you're not delivering it the way that certain people are delivering it, but you will find yourself, and in turn, your people will find you. But when you're
Exactly.
trying to compete with others, you will try to be like the others. For example, when I first started out, I was trying to be like somebody else that I was looking up to. And for example, that person's following is in Africa. And I'll say, oh, I want to go to Africa and get all that. But no. Then when I let that go, I found that my following ended up being in your country.
Really?
Yeah, most of my stuff is from the US.
Hmm.
Is US, and I've got a great love for US, and me and my wife and my family are planning to move out there very soon.
What? We
We
want to talk
are.
about that. We'll talk about that later.
Yes. Because all I've had is love. And we talked about it. I'm sick and tired of the cold.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sick and
Yeah.
tired of the cold. And I do like California. The sunshine state, you know?
Yeah.
Be
I
somewhere like
got you.
Venice Beach where I can go there every day and ground myself in the sand, be in Mother Nature, and then
Yeah.
just jump in that ocean if I'm feeling a bit like I need to get myself washed away, get all this negativity, which we all
Yeah.
pick up from people.
Yes.
I'll throw
Yes.
myself in the ocean. And
Don't count out Florida or the
yeah,
Carolinas on this side.
yeah, but then the hurricanes. but
But
then
California has the earthquake. We'll talk about that
yeah,
later.
yeah. But then we've got Brother Keenan over there to look after us as well. So
Oh
you know,
yes, he
yeah,
is. He
he
is. He
is.
is.
He's in West Palm Beach.
I forgot that. I thought he
He's
was
in
in Hawaii.
he's in both. He's His family is from Hawaii. His dad's in
Okay.
Hawaii, so he's
Gotcha.
in
Okay.
both. So going back to being yourself and owning your lane and owning your craft and owning you and just be you.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
It
There's
really
no
is.
point of you going on stage, for example, like when I first started out, oh, I want to be in the top 100 speakers in the world. But now when I go on stage, I step off the stage because it's not about the stage. It's about the people in
Mm.
front of me. It's about my message. The stage is just something that men has created to give somebody that elevation.
That
I
they're
don't need
elevated. Then. Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be elevated
Yeah.
because I've filled my cup and I'm ready to pour. And that overflow of my cup will be overflowing on the people that does need that overflowing, that needs that bit of whatever I'm giving it out from my pure heart. I'm not giving it out for me to get ratings. I'm not giving it for me to be in Forbes magazines. If it is, it's a blessing.
Great. Yes.
It's great. But I don't measure myself. And somebody asked me the other day, what is your definition of success? My success is to have personal freedom. And the personal freedom means now it's 25 past 11 in the UK, and I've got the freedom to be talking online with you and not having to worry, oh, I've got to wake up in the morning at 6 to get to work. Yeah? Or I
Yeah.
have to wait, I have to ask my boss, oh, I need to go on a break now. Or can I have my lunch? And again, it's controlling you. This is, but a
Yeah.
lot of people thinks that once I'm successful, I will be going to the gym. Once I'm successful, then I can afford a personal trainer. Once I'm successful, I'll be doing that. No, it's not. You need to be doing that now.
Now.
Because
Now.
a lot of people ties the success to finances. But when you do that, when you tie that to finances, you'll be miserable. You'll be living in misery. You'll be living in pain. You'll be
And
living in
even then, you get it, and then you wonder what to do with it, or what's the next conquest.
because you'll be the
You'll
same
always be
person.
reaching the
You'll
same
be the
person
same
with no
person.
personal growth. Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. But once you step on that journey and realize there's no destination, everything else will just fall into place, and then you'll grow. You'll become that better version of yourself, and
Yes.
in turn, once you're shining that light out, that light will shine on the people that are attracted to you, that are magnetized
To you.
to you,
I know.
because there's a reason why they are coming to you. And the other thing is, once you become open,
Mhm.
this is another thing that I've also learned. When you become open, you attract broken people. But
Hmm.
it's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to fix everybody. That's at the beginning of my journey, I wanted to fix everybody. But there's people that I even say I can't help you, but this is how I'm going to help you. Go and listen to my podcast. Watch me on a Monday night with Jimmy. Go and this is the literature that you can read. But at this moment in time, you're not ready for I'm not ready for you. You're not ready for me
Hmm.
because you're just going to drain away my energy, and then I'm giving you permission to take my power away. And this is what happens. You will find when your aura is on that, your aura is shining, people will get attracted to that. And then you need to know how to play with it. And you need to know at certain times you have to have that firm tone. You have to have that firmness in you. The coaching session I did today at the big, I said to this person, cut this session. You can't be coached by me at this moment in time. But this person is somebody that I've got a lot of love with. And the person says to me, give me a second chance. I was like, okay, I'll give you a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Of course.
And the whole thing changed. The whole thing changed. The person said to me at the end of the session, I was like, what's your feedback? Person says to me, I am raw at this moment in time. I need to process what you've done to me. And I did it with cruel love, I call it, because it needed to. There's no
Because
other way in it.
sometimes a person needs that. I can respect that.
You really need it, and if
Yeah.
that person turned around and said, "I never want to know you again," so be it. Go on your
Yeah.
path. But all I can do is take you on the path, and then the rest is you that's going to walk on it. I can't
But
walk it for you.
you know what though, Utah, and two things I want to say. Um, a person can truthfully receive that from you when they know that your intentions
Hmm.
are well. And when they know that in their heart of hearts that your intentions are well, even if they can just feel it in their spirit or soul that your intentions are well, you won't have to worry about that. Like they are going to be there to want more, and it may take them a second to process it, but they are going to want more. And there was something I was struggling with. Actually, when I spoke with you a couple of days ago, I kind of had another aha moment. I don't know what it is about you, but you're making me have these aha moments. But I was speaking to you, and I was over explaining a lot of different things. And I found after I disconnected the call, I found that I was over explaining these things because I was like, wait a second. I want him, and it wasn't just you. I've been doing it for the longest. I would over explain because I wanted someone to hear the complete story without it making me feel like I was better than something else, or without me leaving out a piece to make sure that that no one can later on call me a liar or call me out on this. And when I hung up the phone with you the other day, Tom, I was like, damn all of that. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple because my intentions are definitely pure and they're going to always be whatever they are.
There you go.
So it's something that I'm learning. Like, so listening to you talk about your coaching session earlier, I'm again tying all that back into intentions, and even if your intentions are there, you don't even have to worry about competing with someone else.
There you go.
Like you just don't. You just
Just
don't.
don't, just
Yeah.
don't compete. That's
Yeah.
the message today. Just do not compete. There is no competition. There's co-creation.
Mm.
Co-create with one another. You will find your people to co-create. Never in a million years will be your thought will be co-creating.
Yeah.
You know, when we started speaking a year ago.
I know. I saw that.
You
The,
know,
the thing. The reminder.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
our 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 little anniversary
Yeah.
during.
I
Oh
know.
dear.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
But in a year, what the things that have happened, so many things have happened because Jimmy has now you're coming really authentic now. You're really authentic because you're no longer comparing.
Yeah.
You're no longer wanting to be like so and so. You're you. You're even sitting in your car.
I know,
It
right?
doesn't
I know.
matter. We do not need the fancy background. We do not need the fancy music. We do not need anything because the content will be there. Because our intention is pure. We're doing this, like what I've said to you, if we inspire the one person, that's our job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that done. We know we've changed one life at a time. And then that person will change another life.
Yeah.
And it will go on and on and
And
on and
on.
on and on. And we've shined. We've shown the light. We've shined our light on people. And that's what it's all about. Just
It
that's what
is.
is being the light.
Mm-hmm.
Being the
Totally.
light doesn't mean that you have to go out there and get all the blah 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 blah, blah. I'm the best this, I'm the best that. It's not. It's not about being the best.
It's
When
not.
you're being the best, it's competing.
When you're trying to be, yeah, it is
Yeah.
so, and I don't want to say it confuses me, but it almost upsets me because the average person doesn't understand that their unique selves, being authentically you, is so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like it is so. I remember back in way back in the day. Woo, way back in the day. Like
Young man.
like extremely young. I mean, fresh in this new gay world, this new body, and I remember so much of trying to please others, And it was so crazy because they were too busy trying to please me because they thought that I had it all. And it was the craziest thing. And here we are thinking that the other is better and wanting to compete. And I swear it was, I don't know, I probably was 21, 20, maybe 22 when I started to strike out on my own, and life changed. Like, it changed drastically. Just me being able to speak up for myself, me being able to say that I am a gay black man. And like, that was like a foundation. And when I met my husband 6 years ago, it became a whole nother thing because now I'm a married, like legally married gay black man. That's a Republican. Okay. Like, I mean, like, it was like those things were not, they were not the same. They were not spoken about in the same sentences. And so me being able to authentically be who I am and live in a household that's with a man that's completely my opposite, like, life has changed so drastically just by me being able to be me. And it is so crazy because I don't understand why more people are not bold enough to just be them. Like, that's all that this world requires. That's it.
To
That's it.
me, you're not Jimmy. To me, you're not the Republican gay black man. Those are just society's
Titles,
perceptions.
labels. Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
you are my brother from another mother that I've connected with on a different level. It's not even, it's not, I can't, it's a soulful level. So in a way, you're my soul brother. Or if you want, I can call you my soul sister.
Please don't. Don't. You better not. Oh, you better not. Like, in
You
my
know,
mind, I said, I know his ass is about to go here. I told Winston about that. Actually, that was last night. We were playing a video game, and I told him about that. And I was like, Utah is like the coolest guy on the face of this planet. And so anyway,
oh, thanks.
like, yeah, like, but that was funny.
But do you know what? This is what I want. This is what I like. We're bringing the fun side to it. We're human beings. I'm going to show my flaws. I don't need to be perfect. You know.
But we don't want your perfection. We
No.
cannot do anything if you are
That
perfect.
there might be an evening. You might see me in my PJs doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've literally just got in about. I reached home at, I think, 9:30. Sat
Okay.
down and quickly had dinner, and then I chilled out with my wife a little bit. So I haven't even got changed. So
Oh.
this is what I'm in. And when I first started out, before I went on a video or something, you'll have me doing my hair, ironing my clothes, and it's
Oh
not
no.
about that anymore. It's really not.
It's not. It's
I
not.
want to read some of the comments. Let's read some of the
Oh,
comments.
okay. Oh, you know what? Let's see.
Let's go down. And you probably got them more than I have. So,
Hey, Rachel.
hey, we love Rachel.
I
We
know
love
Rachel is
you.
so cool.
She's
She
so
is so
cool.
cool.
And she said, hey, Mr. CJ Sohal. He's one of the guys from the UK. He's amazing too.
CJ.
CJ, yeah.
Hey, CJ.
CJ he is a coach too.
Okay.
We've got Carol says hi there. Hi, Carol. No
Hi,
reason to
Carol.
compete. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and Uttam, you both inspire love. Love you both. Has good friends. Of course, we
Aww.
love you too, Rachel. Of course. And Rachel says thanks, and definitely no reason to compete. And there isn't. There
There
isn't, because
isn't.
it's not a race. It's not a competition. The competition is, if anything, is with yourself to become that
It,
better version than what you were yesterday. Because you can always push forward to become a better
mm-hmm.
version, to become a better brother, a better sister, a better mother, a better father, a better husband, a better
Yeah.
wife, or
Yeah.
better, even better, a better human being. Simple as that. There's no religion tied to it. There is no
It's
sexuality
not.
tied. There's no color.
It's
There's
not.
no race. Because when I strip you down, we're all going to be the same.
The same. And
Simple as that.
humanity. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh,
Simple.
yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
we're trying to bring here. This is the humanity show, I think.
You know what? I like that analogy you were using earlier about the highway. And while you were
Hmm.
talking, I was sitting here thinking, I'm just like, because there's so many. If you just stay in your lane, like literally, just stay in your lane, and arrive to your destination when it's your time. Like you will get there. You honestly will get there. And so while you were talking and about the different vehicles they're moving there, you can use that analogy however you want in regards to your vehicle that's getting you to your destiny. But I was thinking about shortcuts. And I'm like, shortcuts are very interesting on their own because they can sometimes give you gratification for a temporary time that gives you the illusion that you're really on the correct destiny or on your correct destiny or on your correct journey. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a moment ago of having your destiny or anything that you're competing with around monetary value. And once you get it, you're most likely going to consistently be looking for that next thing. And what I definitely want to bring home or encourage people to do before you even remotely think about taking that shortcut, have a little talk with self. Get yourself centered and figure out a way to know who you are a little bit better and your intentions behind whatever goal, dream that you remotely have. And when you find that vehicle that's going to take you to the next location, just let it drift. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Like I'm learning. Trust me. I am learning more and more every single day that if I'm able to remove myself and my personal desires of what I want to happen, because right now what's still in my mind as to what I want to happen is tied up to me wanting to compete in some weird, like strange way. It's still back there in the back of my mind wanting to compete with society because I still want the best car. I still want the biggest house and blah, 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 blah. These things are in the back of my mind. Like I know that they're there. And so I'm having to survey myself every single day just to make sure that my intentions are there. And that, as you said earlier, they're raw. They're raw and pure intention so that I can move forward to the next right thing for me.
There you go.
You know?
Then like Bruce Lee says, be like water, my friend. Flow
Be
like
like
water.
what?
Just flow.
Who
Bruce
said
Lee.
that?
Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Hey. So Bruce, you just flow.
Yeah.
Because when you're flowing, you will hit that rock.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
But when you come back from hitting that rock, you're going to realize when you're seeing that rock again, you're going to move out the way. It was part of the lesson. It's part of the lesson.
And it is.
But if you haven't learned the lesson, you're going to hit the rock again. But
Again.
if you're competing, there's been this thing that's been going on social media for a while. It's Michael Phelps, the swimmer, and the other dude in the next lane next to him.
Oh,
Michael,
yes.
yeah, he's
Yes.
focused, but the dude's watching him.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you watching him? Look how focused that dude is in his lane.
Yeah.
Be in your lane and own your lane.
Mm-hmm.
That's the theme for today. Just be in your lane.
Be in your lane.
There's only one person that can do that is Usain Bolt, because he turns back because he's already gone further than everybody, and he looks at everybody saying, "Yeah, okay, catch me." But that's him. That's something else. But honestly, guys, there's no need to compete, because when you compete, what you're telling your subconscious, what your vibration is going to be, what the signal you're sending to the universe, to God, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, or Jesus, or the higher power, is that I'm living in scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're competing, it's a lack of abundance. When you're not competing, the abundance will come to you, because there is enough to go round and around and around.
It is.
It has been going around for years, and it will go around for years.
It is.
And once you realize that, everything will just fall at your feet for you. It might take a while. It might take 10 years because you need to become that version to be on that level
To
until
receive it.
you to receive. And once you're open to receive, and once you're not looking to compete and there's no competition, everything is going to come at you. And you will have whatever you want because you've touched it there. Your intentions are pure. Your intentions is you.
It's
It's
you.
not what Uttam is doing. It's not what Jimmy is doing because you will never be like me or Jimmy.
Exactly. And
And
you know how to start with that, you Tom? Just one little bit of small appreciation at a time. Because when you
absolutely,
start, what I'm learning now is that when you start to call on abundance or prosperity, because I'm looking at them now as nouns, and they're tangible for me. And when you start to call on abundance and prosperity, they start to show up in little bitty small ways. So don't get in the way and thinking of this big huge picture. But they start in those little bitty small moments, and before you know it, you're drifting.
my
You're drifting.
mentor told me when abundance starts coming, it will start dripping like a tap, starts dripping and dripping. But
Yeah.
once you fully open that tap, it's going to overflow,
Overflow.
overflow. And I'm going to go back to this coaching as well. The person found it hard had to be grateful, and
Ooh, Jesus.
so the way to be grateful, if anybody's suffering from that, because it is hard for some people
It can't.
to
Yeah.
to find the genuine gratitude. For example, if you're hating your job at this moment and you're not grateful for that job, so what I said to this person said, I said to the person, so if you're can't come Monday morning, you haven't got that job, what will happen to your rent or your mortgage?
Hmm.
Oh, I'll be living under a bridge.
Yeah.
I said, under that bridge, would you have your MacBook with you right there and then where you're speaking to me on a coaching session? No, you won't. Okay, would you have your wireless? Oh, we're in Europe and it's really cold at this time of the year. You've got a really nice, snuggly jumper on. Would you be feeling that warm? Would you be able to go in your kitchen to cook you something? Or would you be able to go and make yourself a hot beverage? So where's the gratitude for all these things? Hence, go back to this shitty job that you hate. Be grateful for that job because that job is getting you everything that you want right now. But at this moment in time, you're not ready to be where you need to be
Hmm.
because every time you're in that job, you're complaining, you're complaining, you're complaining, you're sending vibration of complaints, and the universe will send it back to you to complain about more.
To complain about more.
But then
Woo! Oh my gosh.
if you're grateful for that job and you pick, instead of focusing on what you don't like, focus on the service also that you're providing in whatever job you're doing, you're providing a service and you'll be getting more of that. And in turn, you will find miraculously you'll be snapped out of that job into where you want to be. And when you're there, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm there. But if you keep complaining, you're going to be stuck there forever. Hence, when you got certain people, I'm not looking down on people, but I always like to use this as an example because I worked at Walmart where you got people started there at 17 years old and they're there at 50. They've been continuously for those years just moaning and moaning. And guess what? These people, they know everything more than you do. In everything in life, they are the biggest judge. They are the biggest newscasters. They know everything that's happening in the world except what's happening in here.
Because, that's tough. That's tough. Like, no one wants to deal with reality.
Hmm.
No
What
one
is
wants to deal with
reality
it.
though? Because we're all living in a dream. Reality is a dream. But it's up
Mm-hmm.
to you to make it your good dream, not your nightmare. But
Mm-hmm.
people, because of their safety net, they're scared to take that leap.
Mm-hmm. That ego.
Oh,
I love it. Oh,
it,
just,
and
yeah.
also,
Yeah.
oh, well, I hate the job, but it's paying for my bills. It's sent my kids to school. It's buying the clothing on my body, but yet you can't find it within yourself to be grateful. But that's the thing. It starts at the smallest things to be
It
grateful for.
does.
The
It does.
other thing, the breath we take in, be grateful for that, because you could be taking that last breath any time, and it's not going to come out again. So be grateful
Do
for
you
this.
realize what you just said earlier? I just got to go back, like, because it's still in my mind. When you are complaining, like, the universe literally hears that
Mm-hmm.
and responds by giving you more to complain about.
Of course.
Like, do you hear what you just said?
Of course, I know what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
This is when I was dealing with my law
oh,
of attraction 6 years ago, 7 years ago. That's law of attraction is so beautiful,
yeah,
and
man.
it's like for like. It's absolutely like for like. And to touch more on that, a lot of people hold on to things. For example, oh, my husband bought me this shirt, but I need to be attached to it. It's only a frigging shirt. And the more you hold on to things, the less you're going to have. You have to let go in order for you to receive more. Because when you're holding on, look at my action, you're holding on. But if you let go, look at that. Look at that. Simple.
So do you not? So I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. So you don't believe in holding on to, I guess, material things of value? Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Everything that you need to hold on to is in here. Hence, you got all these youngsters and the modern people now. They're going to a concert, for example. They're going to a concert is to be in the moment and enjoy it. But no, I'm taking a picture, a selfie, but I'm missing that moment. You go to a restaurant and you'll start seeing these 4 or 5 people sitting at the dinner table in a fancy restaurant, not one word being said, but when the food comes, yeah, and the only time they will speak will be, can you take my picture? In that whole 90 minutes or an hour or whatever they're there. It's not being in the moment. And again, in order for you to have more abundance in your life, you need to be in the moment. Because if you're living in the past, you're living in regret. If you're living in the future, it's not even there yet. So you're anticipating. But being in the now, it's all right here, right now.
It's all right here.
And we are so blessed right now. And I'm so grateful for this moment. Yeah. What are the chances of me and you meeting each other if there wasn't the internet? If there wasn't, I'm on my iPhone 8 at this moment. If it wasn't an iPhone 8, it's not about me saying that I've got this phone. No, I'm grateful. Because when my wife was saying to me, I ordered this phone, is basically my phone was coming, my old phone was an older phone and it was coming for the upgrade. She was like, oh, you must be happy that your phone is... Like, babe, it's only a phone. And the only thing that excited me about the phone was the fact that I'm going to have a better camera so I can take pictures of my kids sometime.
That's what I love. I love it. Like, that's what I love about the upgrades. Like, I love that. And I don't know. Like, I'm not a big phone person. Like, I'm really, really not. Like, I love my phone. It does what it's supposed to do. And, like, well, my husband is the geeky guy that loves his phone. So, yeah.
So, that's the way. It's just, there's so many different layers that you need to uncover. But uncover all the layers again. Keep memories, not objects. Because that object will go. The memory will never go. You will take that memory to your grave. You will take it with you. And nobody can take that away from you. The IRS can't come and take it away from you.
I got something I want to ask. Jordan says hi, Uttam. Jordan Combs says
Hi,
hi, everyone.
Jordan.
And
Nice to
then
meet you.
you got Carol here. She just says, I agree. So many people are not being in the moment. We need to be with family and put aside phone and tables. Enjoy family. I love that.
Amen.
I love that.
We
We,
have a
you know,
rule. We
no,
have a
you
rule in my
don't. No,
house.
you don't.
We
No.
do. We
No.
do. I told you about this when my wife's phone and my phone is making love. Do you
Oh,
remember?
yes.
We
Yes.
put the
Okay.
phones together.
Gotcha. But that's only
Put
for
it
a
away.
period of time.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. Gotcha. I
When we're
gotcha.
together. When
I
most of the
gotcha.
times we don't. But then also with my work, when I'm working, then I'm working.
Okay.
And please excuse me because I have to be on my phone.
Yeah.
Because my phone, I do most of my stuff on my phone is so convenient rather than getting the
It's so
MacBook.
convenient.
So
Yeah.
convenient and you're just there doing your stuff.
Yeah.
But when I step into my home and my kids run up to me and jump in on me, I don't care about that phone. Because that phone is gone because I will never get those moments back.
You won't. You
I
won't.
want to see my little boy
You won't.
jumping on me, trying to kiss me and fighting for my affection. Then my daughter will come, she wants her piece. Then he'll go and throw his body on the floor, being the baby of the family, and so on.
I'm not
And
ready for that just yet.
yeah, but I was just about to say something,
I'm
and
sorry.
Carol put it there. She said, "Sorry, tablets." I've got rid of my iPad.
What?
I got rid of my iPad. I don't want it.
Like, ugh. We have all of that. We have the iPad, the tablet, and two laptops and a piece. Like, we have all of that junk.
What I
Like,
found
it's a bunch of junk. I'm not gonna lie.
with the iPad, what I started finding that my wife would be sitting there watching something, I'll be watching something else, but we're not connected. But the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is connecting.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Damn it. Okay. So, because my husband and I, we're like, ugh, sometimes we have to be on opposite ends of the house. Like, seriously, no joke. And, but that's just how because it's crazy because he's in a profession that deals with people. I love talking to people, but we're really homebodies. And so we're homebodies sometimes together, sometimes we're homebodies apart. So what would you say to somebody like that? That's like me. That's like because when we do sit down, sometimes we have our phones, sometimes we don't. It just really all depends on the mood that's going on in the room at that time.
Hmm.
So what would you say to someone like that? You just live your life and you do you, or is that a practice you feel that probably could lead somewhere else?
Just do you.
Yeah,
It's all
I dig
about
it.
being you.
Yeah.
Because there are times when I say to my wife, babe, I need my time.
Here,
Because
here.
me
Yeah,
time is very important.
yeah,
And you also have to respect that.
yeah,
Because your partner, whether it's your family, your son, your daughter, they need their time to be with themselves. And we talked about it. How are you going to find yourself if you don't have that time with yourself?
yeah, yeah,
But then you have to be complete by yourself first.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just be you and do you.
yeah.
But again, technology, yeah, because this is what's keeping us away from what the connection is going. Hence, everybody's fighting for that fiber optic connection to get the faster connection online. But yet, they don't have that faster connection with one another. We're so disconnected from one
Thank you,
another.
Carol. Carol said, "Do you and you both will come together because it's love. Because it's love."
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
But the love also can go towards the love for these gadgets, though, as well,
It can.
unfortunately.
It
Because
can.
you're being the disconnection, it's when you start to disconnect with things, that connection goes.
It and
Uh, it
it,
can.
which is why it's so important. I mean, not to talk about marriage, but when you're talking about marriage and being with someone in a household, you have to be so careful to choose the right partner. Like it's really crazy to say that, but the reason why I'm bringing that up is because he and I both have our moments. So if it comes down to Facebook and he knows that he's been on Facebook too long or too much, himself, like all himself, he would disconnect completely from Facebook. And I'm no different. And if I have to take a few days off, I will disconnect completely. If I don't need to do a video today, I will disconnect because I don't know. I feel like it's something internally that's processing that says, okay, yeah, you really don't have anything to say, so why are you picking this up? You don't really have anything that you really need to be reading right now, or you really need to be focused on this. This phone can be on the back burner. And so I will say that I definitely love that about he and our relationship and our partnership with that. We will equally disconnect when when you feel the need to do so.
Of course,
like,
of course. And especially with what we're doing, being
Yeah.
social media influencers,
Yes, yeah.
it's part of our thing. But then we have to realize and make it like your work. It's when you go to work in the morning, you work whatever time to whatever time. Doesn't mean
Right.
that when that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever the typical norm is, I forgot what it is now.
Whatever. Whatever. Oh my God.
I forgot because for me,
watch me roll my eyes at you.
I could be starting work sometimes like on a Monday. Sometimes it could even be the only work that I'm doing is doing this.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Disconnect. It's done. Whether somebody's putting a comment, whether you need to get back, that person can wait.
Can wait. Yes.
Can wait.
Yeah.
And obviously with your coaching clients, it depends how you're doing it. But what I say with my clients, I will get back to you within 2-3 hours. Within 2-3 hours, which means that I've got 3 hours, 4 hours doing what I have to do. When I go out in nature, walking bare feet,
yeah,
and I'm there, and just there, and that's what it has to be. You need to have that in you to know I can disconnect, and I'm not relying, I'm not dependent on my phone.
Yeah.
It becomes a dependency. It becomes an addiction. Oh, I've got a comment. Oh, I've got a like. It goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of being wanted, being felt that you're needed. And it's just your basic things that people now are getting that one like. Oh, somebody likes me. But then the majority of people are taking 1,000 pictures before posting one.
I had to stop
it's
that.
It's terrible.
I literally, I started out, when I started the videos, it was, okay, I got 2 takes. And so the very first one, if I messed up at the very beginning, I would do a second one. And then it would just go from there. And then it became, okay, it doesn't even matter if I messed up at the beginning. We're just going to roll with this thing. It is what it is, But listening to you right now, I'm finding it very interesting. And I mean very, very interesting. Because on one hand, I 100% agree. We definitely need to be able to disconnect from the technology world. But then also, on the other hand, not to try to start a whole nother conversation, because I know we've run almost to an hour.
Yeah, we've been on an hour already.
Oh
I'm
my
looking
gosh.
at the clock.
But I got to ask this. I've got to ask this. Because we're in a technology world. Like, that's what this world is all about. I mean, from the cars to our houses, and even we even have gas stations with no convenience stores, and it's just pumps. Like literally, we're going through an automated shift, and there's no way around that. And especially you now as a parent and raising your kids, because they have to know some part of the technology world, otherwise they'll get lost when it becomes time for them to be an adult. How in the hell do you cipher from what is a necessity versus what is a want right now in the technology shift?
My daughter has a tablet. Okay? She only gets it for 30 minutes on Sunday.
Okay.
So she's still getting the skills that she needs, but then we're taking away the addiction sides of it. Because what we originally, when she had it, she was having it every other day. We found that she started getting her temper started rising when you want to take the tablet away from her.
Oh, wow.
So I set the ground rules straight away. There's your time. I even set a timer. when that timer goes off, can I have my tablet back now? Her tablet. It's a kid's tablet.
Yeah.
Can we have it back now? And Jimmy, I don't think my baby has touched that tablet for nearly a month.
Wow.
But then my daughter has been meditating for a month.
Gotcha.
For a month she's been, so she disconnected from that. Talking about technology again, I didn't tell you, I got myself a brand new vehicle on
Oh, you
Friday.
did?
Did I
Oh,
tell you?
no. Okay, no. What you did say is that you had a newer age vehicle, but you didn't say you had just got it on
Yeah,
Friday.
with all the issue that I had, I thought I'm just getting a whole new one. I can't be dealing with this anymore.
I
So
didn't know that.
I ended up getting this new vehicle, and
Uh-huh.
I've had it all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I've been driving, and it's a manual. I've been driving automatics for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then each time it's like I'm stalling the car, and I'm like, oh, I'm not used to changing the gears. Dude, I've got this auto stop thing on my car, and you found out today.
Oh yeah, for the fuel efficiency thing. Yes, yes.
And
Oh,
I
I
was like,
hate those. I
and I was
hate
like,
those.
you're
Oh,
so dumb. And I was
yes.
laughing at myself.
Oh my gosh.
You're so, here's
That is crazy.
technology.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I said to my wife, when I was driving the manual back in the day, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
And there's me thinking each time, I'm switching the ignition.
I didn't even know they could do that on a manual. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
even
was,
know that.
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Because
Oh wow.
when you're stopping at a light, for example, at a
Yeah.
stoplight, and if you don't put it in gear and leave it on neutral, it stops automatically. And then when you put it in the gear, it starts automatically.
Oh.
And this
Oh
is
my
how in
god.
touch with technology I am. But do you know, I'm so happy because I'm more connected with me. I'm more connected with what's more important to me. It's what's going to make me align myself with my values, which is
Mm-hmm.
nature. We all
Mm-hmm.
need to go back to nature. Nature knows best because nature's been there from day one.
From day one.
From day one. And nature can take away everything just like that, including your technology. Your technology won't be anything. No technology will stop that earthquake. No technology will stop that tsunami. No technology will stop that hurricane.
Yeah.
Remember that. And
Yeah.
fair enough, it does make life easier.
Yes, definitely.
It does. But being in nature is so much easier too because then you know who you are. Definitely know who you are. Then going back to that, you're going to lead authentically. You're going to be in your lane. You're not going to compete. And on that note, we are going to end this video
Thank you. I
now.
know, right? Look, wait a
And
second. Oh, Jesus.
as always, live well with one another because if we don't, what's the point? And I would like to say a big shout out to Mr. Jeff. We're talking about Florida. He's from there. Hi, Mr. Jeff and
All right,
Karen
Jeff.
Breezer. So, see, I told you my American people are here. So, I'm sending everybody love, blessings. And it's all about love. And it's one love. Like Bob Marley said, one love. You
One
know?
love.
One love. We are all one. Because when we do go, we're all going to go to that dirt, which is the earth, as people will call it, the soil. We'll all go the same place. Whether you're being cremated, whether you're being buried, whichever way, it's still going to go to the same
To dust,
place.
yeah.
You will, ashes to ashes,
Ashes.
dust to dust.
Yeah.
There you go. So
There you
live in
go.
the now. Be good with one another. Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Carol, and it's
I
been
know.
a
I was gonna
pleasure to meet
say.
you. I don't know
We.
who you are, but I'm going to check you out, see who you are. Thank you for your support. And please, 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 please do share because the reason we asked to share is that sharing is caring. Somebody else could be listening to this video, going through a hard time in their life, and they don't have anybody to turn to.
Yeah.
And we can be that light that we've been talking about.
That we can. All right, you time. We'll go ahead and
So,
close it out.
mwah,
Oh, I'm
live
sorry.
well
You
with
had
one
something else?
another.
We love you guys so much.
So
And
much.
remember that life can be so wonderful if you just
Life
let
is. That's it.
it.
Just
It just,
look at me and Jimmy. Just
I
look at me.
know, I know, I know.
That's the thing that you can be like us. Copy the love.
Stop that. Oh my gosh. Just the love.
Bye.
All right, you tell. See you
You
guys.
need to cut it off, not me. It's on your side.
I'm doing it now.
Good
You know
night.
what? Don't try to be a bully.
I'm not a bully. I stopped that a long time ago. And one thing I'm glad about, I'm going to be confrontational.
Oh
Where is
my
it, Jimmy?
gosh.
Where is it?
Really? That's old
Bye.
news. That's old news.
Bye.
Bye.